happy when I saw that the Odd was back at 9 because that's what I like. That's like my core memory of the Odd.
Yeah.
You know, and I was really happy because I got to do that one too. Like,
Yeah.
just as like a mic participant.
Yeah.
And instead of a host, and it was fun seeing it just feel different. And that's what I was hoping they would do, is like make it their own thing.
Yeah.
And they really have. Like the rotating host, it's like Julia, Josie, and Cloud. And they were all there. And it was cool because they were kind of like antagonizing each other, like heckling each other from the crowd and stuff. And I was like, oh, this is such like a fun thing.
Yeah.
I really liked the energy.
It's great. It's been awesome. I haven't been like the last month or so, but yeah, I think Julia, she did a great job with it. But then I think she was like doing it every week, kind of.
Totally.
As you know,
yeah.
It was too much. So then once they got the 3 or 4 of them, it seemed good, and they're all like perfect for the Odd too. Like all of the hosts are
the
like
weirdos.
very odd. Yeah.
Well, like I wish I had been less like, adamant that I was the host. I think I just wanted to be Tom Peters real bad.
Yeah. He hasn't been back. I keep waiting for Tom to come back to the Odd, and everyone there is like, well, who are you?
I know, right?
Julia's like, you can go up last like every other person. I don't know. I'm like, no.
Well, that's like, I forgot. I think it was Tom Sheave came back to Disclaimer, and Julia was hosting, and she was like, I don't know who this guy is. And I was like, that's Tom Sheave. And she like gave him like a bad spotting.
Yeah, one time right after you left, Macon just showed up at the Odd. And he seemed like, a little more shy, and I was just like, Julia, this guy, he's, a big part of the scene. He's very funny.
Yeah.
You should, put him up. And she was like, he can come over and introduce himself like anybody else, and then I'll see how I feel.
Yeah, it's interesting.
And then I just left before he went up. I'm like, I don't know, but I did what I could. But, also I respect it. It's like she's running it.
Right.
It's like, it's hers. And that's cool. And, Macon was a huge asshole a lot of the time too, so I'm not really trying to like really go to bat for him. Then he gets up and he's like, God knows what, I don't want to vouch for him too hard.
It's because if anyone would be like have their feelings hurt about that, it probably would be Macon.
Yeah, it's the bullies that are really
sensitive.
Yeah, for sure. He doesn't listen to this podcast. So
I do love his jokes.
Oh yeah, I mean he was like a big deal from when I guess. Yeah. I think it was like when we started. There was this whole group. Do you know which month you started? Is it 10 years?
I know you're really good at keeping track about that.
Yeah.
I just know that we started around the same time.
Yeah, I'm like a data guy, so I know exactly all my stuff. But I started in November.
Yeah.
So and I think you may have been like a few months. I don't know. But sometimes people are like they came out once and they didn't come out for a year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Did you like go straight in? Did you like just start coming every week right away, or did you?
Well, it's the Odd is a really special place for me because it's like I knew about comedy in town because I knew Tom and I knew he had this mic. So the Odd was the first one I did, and I started doing that one like every week.
Same.
Well, I was just like, I'm doing comedy. I like that room. And then Disclaimer was this like scary thing that I had to like work up to.
Same.
But it was so exciting once I started doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Southern.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was just those 2 nights in a row.
Totally.
They were so different.
Yeah.
How'd you know Tom?
So I think it was just from I would honestly hang out at Orbit DVD and like ask which is a video store, still exists. And I would ask for like his recommendations or honestly just like anything weird that he thought I should watch.
That's funny.
And like, smoke weed and have a good time. And I liked the other people who worked there and they were like, yeah, Tom does comedy. And I was like, well, I've always secretly really wanted to do comedy.
Yeah.
Not so secret to my like family, they knew, but I just had harbored that like dream for a long time. And I saw this guy who like had this thing and I thought he was like cool and funny. So I was like, I might as well. And then, started from there. And I had a big push like thematically in my life where a relationship that was like my first like real relationship like ended. And I was like really looking for some sort of like tethering connection.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you've always wanted to do this. This is a good time.
Yeah. And you were young. You're like early 20s, right?
I was like 23 when
I
started.
It's so rare now. It's like everybody starts when they're like late 20s or early 30s. And I noticed like Derek has gotten so fucking funny.
I love Derek.
I mean, he was always funny, but like it just occurred to me. I'm like, oh, he's still only 29. So all that start like Cody, Petey, like is definitely like
totally
when you start that young. it gives you a lot more space. And like Aiden, he's a controversial figure, but and Mackenzie, it's like there's really not that many people that I see that start like in their early 20s, and it's very cool because you're like still kind of becoming a grown up, and you can do all that with comedy.
Yeah. I mean, I think for a specific type of person also, like, I think Derek's like this too, where it's like, I think he like had joke writing abilities like kind of from the jump. So it's like you just like develop like what your voice is. But it's like you already know how to be funny, which is good.
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes when people start, it's like they're still trying to figure out like kind of like how to be consistently funny on stage.
Yeah, and Derek's like, got so much trauma.
Yeah.
So but you don't seem like...
Well, that's kind of what I like about Derek. I feel like he doesn't like on paper like look like he has trauma.
But then you start hearing about his life and you're like, oh.
It's like, holy, it's like Pentecost. What?
Yeah, there's a lot of...
but he just kind of looks like a cool dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like a normal, like handsome guy, but then he's talking about he and his brother were like home alone and both parents left and they're getting robbed by a Robitussin from the...
Right.
You're like, oh, okay, that's what.
It's kind of like when you found out like John Mulaney had all those demons. You're like, really? You?
Right, yeah. Yeah, because he talked about it from the get-go. He's like, I used to get blackout drunk every night. But then you find out while he was saying all that, he was still just concealing it very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, what do you think? Do you have like a bunch of trauma that you don't talk about in stand-up? Or do you think it's like, because you're, funny. But it does seem like, I mean, I don't think that you have to be a nutcase who's insane to be a good artist, but I mean, with music and comedy, there certainly seems to be a high correlation. Somebody like Jess Cooley comes out, gets so funny real fast, and you're like, yeah, I think there's probably a good amount of pain and suffering there.
Yeah.
Like it's you see it a lot where, but I think just being weird can be good too.
Definitely. I mean, my favorite comics are like, like one of the reasons why I like comedy was like Mitch Hedberg type people, where it's just like the real like silly joke.
Yeah.
Steve Martin was like my favorite. And then like slowly I like Mike Birbiglia is probably my favorite comic now. But like it's like the connective tissue I feel like is not always like trauma or like something terrible that it's like there's this like just kind of like natural relatability. Which like I like coming up with joke ideas that the audience is like, oh yeah, I agree, and I never thought to say it that way.
Yeah,
like, that kind of drives me more.
Yeah,
than like relating about trauma.
Yeah. I liked your joke about the putting GPS that you're walking in. And I was like, that's a classic James Harrod joke. Yeah. Just like one of those things. I'm like, why didn't I think of that?
Right,
it's just kind of silly.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, maybe like the ideal show is like you do have somebody that like bears their soul and all their fucked up pain, like Richard Pryor, but then the next person's like just some silly stuff, know, like it doesn't all have to. It's kind of like heavy if the whole showcase is like everyone's just like in my pain too. Yeah. So yeah, I don't really do it that way either, but I have been trying to get to more like stories and stuff, like weird. Like I feel like AI can sort of write joke structure, but then like trying to find your weird like childhood, things that only you can say.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I don't know. There's comics like, I mean, Mulaney's a really good example. Like, he's like so good at writing jokes, but like it's not like he doesn't talk about anything, It's like you don't think of him as one of those like confessional guys, but you do learn a lot about him through the show and like vulnerable stuff.
Yeah.
Or like Taylor Tomlinson's another one of my favorites where like, she talks a ton about like religious trauma, growing up religious. But it's like in this like joke a minute kind of way.
Yeah.
It's like that's really what I like, I think, the most. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just like this huge rise in these like Marc Maron type, which I love Marc Maron.
Yeah.
But it's like
it's like you can spawn all these imitators.
Right. Exactly. And he's a guy I never thought would have all these like imitators, but he really does.
Yeah. Yeah, he really does seem like he's the OG of like vulnerability, or I don't know. I mean, I sort of have never really found his stand-up to be my favorite, but then I listened to enough hours of him podcasting to then I like his cadence.
Oh, totally.
So then now I can wait for like 3 minutes for a punchline or whatever he's doing. Like he definitely doesn't like
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree.
It's interesting now that he's really become like, he's really actively like, I'm the anti Rogan kill Tony
Which
thing.
like, that's honestly my favorite thing about him, probably.
Yeah. He's like older than all of them, and he's like, I'm the, so it's kind of interesting that he's like,
totally.
I'm the liberal one, but I'm the old man.
Totally.
It's kind of cool.
But exactly. I kind of do like that, because instead of like a little young rabble rouser, like who seems like kind of whiny, he's like, I'm an old man. I really like all the clips that I see, which like interviewers clearly bait him now, where they're like, what do you think about Rogan? Like knowing he's gonna,
and he will, you know, whereas most people have the common sense to go, well, certain people say, he's just like, fuck that person, fascist, he's bad.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
And like just really refreshing, because I do like find this vibe in comedy right now where it's like, I feel like people really don't want to badmouth people who are like successful right now.
Yeah, because you're like, I don't like Rogan, but he might have me on someday, so I shouldn't have my voice.
Right.
You know?
You meet a lot of people like that. I feel like.
I mean, like, fuck him, but like, I'd be on for sure.
Exactly.
I mean, because he has so much power. You know?
But growing up, I felt like there were comics who were just kind of like unapologetically like, fuck this type of comedy. Yeah. Like David Cross or like Janine Garofalo or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
They were like, this is what I like.
Those are my heart
This
songs.
is bullshit.
The 90s alt.
Right. Yeah. Which I guess Mark is kind of a part of that too.
Yeah, I guess he's just stayed there. And I think the podcast thing, like he says all the time that he was like, until the podcast, it was like he was just drifting into obscurity. I guess he was never not really obscure, but that was really the thing that...
totally.
It's interesting that he's just quitting now. He's like, I'm not doing video. I'm just, now that it's a video thing, I'm just going to quit.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just like, I don't mean this to be like a WTF like love session, but it was like really great to just like discover that when I was like starting doing stand up and like being like, oh, they interviewed like every comic I like.
Yeah. Totally. And they're good ones too, like Norm.
Oh yeah.
And there's certain ones. Yeah.
Yes.
He talks a little too much, and I'm
at the beginning,
and I'm trying to, and throughout. Like there'll be a person that's like, and I write a joke, and he's like, that reminds me of my dad, and he just like cuts in, and then I'll listen back to this sometimes. I'll be like, shit, I'm doing that sometimes.
No, but it's probably hard not to.
But yeah, you get excited.
Yeah,
you talk.
I think Mark Maron is like good at interviewing comedians, but like honestly really bad at interviewing like almost everyone else. Because like I remember I was really pumped to hear him talk to Steve Malkmus from Pavement.
Oh yeah,
I was like, I love Pavement.
Yeah,
but then he's just like talking about like riffs and stuff the whole time, like Marcus. Yeah, and like Steve like barely talks.
Yeah. Is that the one where at the end he asks him to play a song?
Yeah,
and Malcolm's like, I'm not gonna do that.
Right. Yeah.
He's like, what? It'd just be weird. He's like, every time I've tried that, I'm not gonna sit here and play a weird. One of these weird songs.
He's
for
like,
you.
I'd rather not.
You didn't even let me talk. Like, probably interrupt me during my song.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, what's it been like in starting from scratch in a new place with Denver? You know, going to the.
It's cool because it's
the
like
back of the line.
Yeah, exactly.
Does it feel that way?
I mean, it's like what I wanted, which is like a challenge. But like once you like are challenged, you're like, oh, I'm being challenged, you know? And it's like hard not to feel like you deserve some sort of like recognition because of like doing comedy for so long or like being booked in a different city. But yeah, it's humbling, but I do appreciate feeling that way. It was getting like, I love Asheville, but it was getting like stagnant a little bit. So I don't really mind like waiting my turn. I think what sometimes frustrates me is that just the general comedy scene right now, and maybe it's just
too many comedians?
Me being a little resentment.
You mean the Kill Tony vibes?
It's the Kill, but it's like too many comics, and I feel like almost all the new comics are just like coming straight from like loving Kill Tony and being like, I should start now.
Yeah,
and I think that's like, I'm not saying these people will never be good comics, but I think if you're just trying to do that, you're going to be pretty bad at comedy.
Yeah. And certainly, it's weird because Asheville has its like kind of issues where I do think we can be a little snobby here.
Yeah.
So I say that on here, like every podcast. Yeah. Just got that out of the way. But then when I do go to surrounding places and I try to, that's when I'm like, whoa, okay, like every dude is like Kill Tony or Shane Gillis or both. Like, and it's like, okay, so that's, it does get to be a lot where, Like you can tell you watch that and you go, I'm going to do that. And then you get up and you say that shit and you're not aware enough yet that you're getting something by being like saying just horrible words.
Totally.
And so and
I feel like I see audience when there is audience at an open mic, which is like, a cool thing that doesn't happen a lot. But sometimes when these guys get on stage, like you see the audience be like, oh, this isn't like fun for me.
Like it starts to feel a little unsafe or just gross or something like and it can kind of create a thing where maybe some people that aren't like toxic bros go, I'm not coming back, and then people that are more toxic bros go, I'm coming back next week, and it can start to kind of get its own like that's what it is, right? You look around, it's just like white dudes in shorts talking about sexual assault,
right? And it's like that's not really what it should ever be. And I don't mean to say like there aren't any great comics in Denver, because there are a bunch of really good ones for sure. It's just like I feel like in any like really big comedy scene right now, I think they're all going through the same kind of thing.
Well, I hope that would make you stand out, that if there is someone, I guess if everyone that's running shows just wants that, then you're probably not going to, but hopefully somebody would be like, oh, here's a guy that actually has crafted some jokes and can work clean. That maybe that could work to your advantage over the long term. I have found some like, I found that like, it's all about like finding your people, the audience. I know. It's hard. I just got stickers, my first like little stickers, and I'm trying to, like that's like a big step for me to be like, if you want to have a moment with me after and give me $1, or I'll just give, to try to actually not just be like I've been happy just being like, it's live comedy tonight, and then you see a bunch of people you've never heard of, and then you never care to see again, but I made them like me for 20 minutes. But the idea of like Finding your people, and like Jeremy Alder came on here and he was he's doing the Christians Who Don't Suck thing, and he's done like a bunch of different things, and we started the same age, Jeremy. And he's like a little ahead. He's great. So I've always kind of looked like he's just very savvy and super funny, and he's like saying the Christians Who Don't Suck thing is like it's not only has it like kind of blown him up on the internet and helped him get booked, but it's his people. It's like people that are kind of like maybe are Christian, but they're like I don't know, woke Christian, what you call it, but so trying to like do something where you can get to your just need your.
And to his point, I really like performing in front of people like that, because like I do know the church really well because I grew up in that, and I'm not really religious now, but like I understand that those people aren't all terrible people. And
there's a majority of good ones.
And there's a lot of stuff to like make fun of about the church that I think a lot of people think religious people are just going to be like, no joking about the church. But I think a lot of them do have good senses of humor and want to laugh at how ridiculous some of this stuff is.
Totally. Zach Wyckoff, you ever cross paths with him? He's another like guy I know through Dry Bar and stuff, but he's a Christian comic, but he gets into those very specific like lock-ins and stuff, and people are like they're ready to laugh, because he's not being mean about it, but it's like let's laugh at how ourselves kind of thing.
Well, one of my favorite, I guess it's kind of my new closer. I've done it for a while, but I started talking about Vacation Bible School. And I do think like you see the recognition in people's eyes sometimes.
I remember
where it's like, it's like people are still religious, lapsed religious. Also, they all just like have that like core summer memory. And it's fun to talk about.
I hadn't even thought. I don't think I've heard that one because I remember that. It was like elementary school or something.
Totally. It's about when I was a teenager. I thought I was old enough, and then my mom signed me up to be the mascot at Vacation Bible School. And the theme that year is construction and safety. So I had to be a walking traffic cone named Daryl the Barrel. It goes on from there.
But that's the good stuff. That's the not AIable stuff.
Exactly.
It's like it's a very specific.
Exactly.
Are your parents are still religious, right? Like
I mean, my mom is very religious, and then maybe it's just my perception of my dad, but I feel like my dad is chiller. But it's not like I'm not like trying to insult her. She's just like very like pious, religious, like posting verses all the time.
But is it like the kind where it's like I'm worried my kids are gonna burn forever because they might not?
I used to feel that way. I think she's like kind of eased off that as we've gotten older.
That's cool, because that's really the line where it becomes problematic for me is like I need to evangelize to other people because I know what really is going to happen. But I mean, you don't cross that line. I mean, because I've always hung out with lots of atheists and churches get tax breaks, and I'm like, if we removed all churches and religions, I don't think it'd be better.
Yeah,
I think we've had a sense of faith
since
the beginning of time, and like, if it just becomes
totally
gone, I don't really think.
Yeah,
I think religion does as much good as bad. I mean, you can always point to the war crimes and such, which there are a lot.
Yeah. For a long time, I just really resented my feeling that I was like forced to be going to church and being religious. And the fact that it was at my school too. Like I went to a religious school.
Oh, really?
So it was just kind of like God 24/7. And I feel like
a lot.
I didn't sign up for that.
Yeah, that's too much.
So I held a lot of resentment for that for a long time. But like recently, as I've gotten like more engaged with like my own spirituality, I think differently about it, where it's like, maybe that wasn't the worst thing for me.
Yeah.
Like
I don't take my church was awesome. Our church in the 90s in Tennessee was Methodist. It was like, we're going to have a gay person talk to us as a Christian.
Yeah.
If you want to be a Buddhist, that's fine.
See, I wish I had that.
And so I realized that was really amazing, So now it's like, I don't go though. I don't want to sleep in on Sunday, but I do think about all the community things we did that my kids aren't getting. Like there's really, because I don't want to go anymore. And I feel like I did my time. I do look back and I'm like, it was good. I mean, sang in the choir. I learned a lot about harmonies.
Yeah.
So there's, I went to like on these trips every summer. We'd go on a choir tour.
Totally.
So we got to travel. I mean, it wasn't like great. We just go to like a mall and a church.
Yeah, we used to do that.
But still, it was like the best. It was better than just sitting at home watching TV. So it got us out there. So I don't know, but I'm not going back ever.
No,
ever.
Yeah,
I'm not ever going.
I'm really not. Yeah, I mean, for a while, my therapist was like, "You have this religious trauma. You should, go back to church. It'd be like healing for you if you did it on like your own terms."
Yeah,
and I tried that for a little bit, and then I was like, we don't need to do this."
Third room, I feel like that kind of counts. I mean, that's like. Emily had a lot of, like, I'd say more religious trauma. Her parents are like very like, even her dad's like, I'm going to die soon and I have to make sure no one's gay in the family. Like it's like, ugh. And, but she went to Jubilee. You know about Jubilee?
Yeah.
Yeah. When she moved here. So she felt like, she only needed to do it for a few years, but it kind of helped to do hippie church.
Yeah.
Where it was like the world, music and religions. And that kind of helped her go, it could be that too.
Totally.
And I'm not going to go to any of it anymore. But I ended on a different note rather than just like just have some like really sad dude like be the last person you heard talk about God,
Totally.
Like you get to throw a little closer on there, a bunch of hippies dancing and doing African drums, appropriating a little, but hey, I think it's better. It's like it's not as bad.
Nothing's perfect.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate that, and there's like these writers who I've gotten into. Like, have you ever read Thomas Merton's? Thomas Merton?
No.
He has this book called Seeds of Contemplation, where he's like a Catholic, but he was also like a Trappist monk for a while. And he just like embraces all these like different types of religions while still being like, I'm Catholic though. And Seeds of Contemplation, he's all just about how people need to just like, think more and like consider things like before like rushing into judgment. And he's super critical of like other religious people, and just I think when I read that I was very much like, I didn't really know you could be religious like that. So
like I'm Catholic, but you could be some Buddhist or Muslim and it still counts.
Exactly.
Still go, I mean, that's awesome. I love that. It's like it's just a way to live. It's like
totally,
this is my workout routine and I do stand up, but it's like you don't need to do that. Like
exactly.
I mean, I'm just it's hard enough just to keep your own shit together. As soon as you start being like judgy, it's just like, the whole thing becomes ugly.
Yeah. And unfortunately, so many Christians like are still like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's like the loud ones though. I think there's a silent majority. Even during the hurricane, like they only had just a little radio. There's like no phone or anything, and like the only stations was like Kiss Country was one of them that came in, which I'd never listened to. Yeah. But there was just like so many like people that were like Christian and Southern and probably voting for Trump on there, but they were like. At that time, like they all their voices came forward, and it was just like so reassuring. Yeah. And then after that, we didn't need help anymore. They haven't come around trying to like take money from me or tell me I'm going to hell or anything. So I feel like there is this silent majority of cool faith.
Yeah.
It's like cool people don't need to badger you.
Yeah.
But there's like that 10% or 20% or whatever it is. And they're just like.
It is really interesting.
Yeah. The Kiltonis of Christianity or whatever, you know?
Yeah. I just did go through a phase in high school and college where I was just like, any atheist is probably cooler than my parents, you know? And now I just like don't think that way anymore. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know, if you were getting movie recommendations or albums, it might still be true, though. Yeah. You know, I mean, I don't know if I'd want to be roommates with them.
Exactly.
But
it was like the real thing that radicalized me was when, like, you know, made me a Democrat and, you know, feel like you have to be liberal, which, you know, I still am. Yeah. Was like watching Daily Show in high school and being like, oh, this guy doesn't like agree with anything, you know, that I'm used to hearing living in my community. And
Daily Show was awesome.
I used to love watching Jon Stewart back in the. I guess he's hosting again now, but
is he on that show or something?
I think he's back on Daily Show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, just that like there was that peak time where he was like hosting and I was just like, well, this guy doesn't believe anything my parents do, and maybe I'm more aligned with him, actually. You know,
I feel like he should run for office or something. Because I mean, I've never voted red once in my life, but
me neither.
I feel like the Democratic Party has really lost its way, like big time. Yeah. I mean, there was Obama for 8 years, and it's like, I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah.
I feel like you're trying to do old media, you need to go on a podcast and do this now. Yeah. Like, I'm sorry, but you can't. If you're afraid to do that, like, you need to go sit down and talk unedited. And the Dems haven't started doing that yet. And they need to next time.
I feel like there's like a shamelessness about the Republicans that works in their favor in that way. Where they're like, I'll do any show.
Yeah,
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that's where the culture's at now. Is it's like we want it raw, we want it unedited. Yeah. Like people don't. The taste is like. You don't want like Barbara Walters and the cuts, and you can tell it was. I don't even know if she's still a thing. Yeah, it's like people want the, and I think that actually is a legit view, and the Dems need to like really think about that for the midterms and what's coming up.
Yeah,
yeah.
We're like, I know like a lot of people that I was talking to, you know, we all wanted Bernie to be the the guy.
Still, he still speaks with the fire.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's still out there crushing it.
Right, but what you're saying is probably why they were like, he can't be the guy.
Exactly. Yeah. And they ousted him too.
Right,
like,
exactly.
and he was getting these giant like people just you could feel the fire in the room, and they were like, no, let's go with the middle of the road.
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't know.
I know you're getting fired up, but I feel the same way. Yeah.
I mean, we try not to get too political on here, but I feel like everyone forgets that like Biden was he say I'm just doing 4 and then I'm out.
Yeah.
And then he just that just kind of went away.
Totally. Yeah.
And I don't think we saw Kamala once. Like she could have been out there more. Like what was the plan? You know? It's like, come on, guys. Like, I don't know.
It's also like she you know, I work in the book world and every like politician like has a book, you know. Kamala's like is about to come out. It has like a release date, and I was interested to see if people would want to read, you know?
Yeah.
Because she didn't, you know, like I think she's cool or whatever, but like she didn't really get to do like, I don't know. She was just in the public eye for like, I feel like a limited window of time. It's already kind of over.
Yeah.
But now she's like, here's my book, but it has all these pre-orders from like, you know, Democrat people, which is like cool, I guess, but it's like, I don't know. And it happened with Hillary too. When she lost to Trump, I think she had a book that was called like "What Happened" or something, which is funny. But then everyone bought that book, and I do think the Democrats are in a weird place right now.
Yeah. And I kind of think that the Republicans are on their way to a bad place. Like I don't think that like somebody else is going to be able to do it the way it's done. There's this one particular guy whose name I don't even like to say because everybody says it all the time, but I don't think that the shit talking. I think there might be some, like Obama was just like, I think he was just so badass.
Yeah, he was
like
awesome.
you can't follow that. You know, you have to like just go like like other people are kind of trying to do that, and it's like that was.
It's almost like at an open mic, you know, where you have to follow the one who everyone loves, you know, like when I have to go after Hillary or something.
Yeah, and at the last minute you tear your set list up and you're like, I'm gonna yell like Hillary and jump around, and then it's just bad.
Everyone's like, what's going on with you? Yeah,
that's one of the things that like when Petey and Cody were on here, I remember they said that. It always stuck with me that like you can only do what you can do, and like at some point you realize like,
yes,
if anything, after Hillary, I should sit down on a stool and just be more me, and not like it's trying to go like I'm gonna add a little Hillary. It's just gonna be like sad.
You don't have to like contort. We're talking about Hillary Bagley, not Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But I was like, I always think about hearing Nate Bargatze, who I also love Nate Bargatze.
Oh, yeah.
But he said on a podcast, what you're saying, like, he went after some comic and he was like, I have to match them. Yeah. And he was like yelling. And people were like, you're not usually like this. We're like kind of scared right now.
Yeah.
And that's when he learned like,
I'd be terrified if he started getting yelling.
Exactly. You'd be like, scary. But he was like, I can kill just speaking in my regular talking voice, and that's good for me.
Yeah, and doing that, I bet like doing that yelling and really feeling that shame like helps you dial. Like, that's why you need to make those mistakes.
Totally.
It's like you need to go like do it totally wrong.
Yeah.
And then feel the shame and then be like, no, I'm more solidified in like what my voice is. Like I think it's so important to like if you don't have like a really embarrassing set for like a while, like you're not doing it right, you know? I mean, I guess if you have your audience or whatever, then you've been through that, but you know, I don't know if I'm expecting that day to come.
I have I've had some good sets in Denver, but you know, I definitely have been like, oh, you gotta like really like rough it sometimes, because the mics here are just kind of great in Asheville, and like I think it's just hard to get like good mic time. You just like there's a ton more mics. And there's just like, you just don't know when they're going to be like well attended or not.
In Denver?
Yeah. So I feel like sometimes you just have to be like, you know, really commit to like not really caring if you get laughs or not.
Yeah.
And here, I think I was really lucky that I didn't have to worry about that much.
Yeah. You have a reputation and respect, and, you know, you're running a show. Yeah. You can stroll in. Right. Yeah. You threw it all away.
But it also makes you better because it's like I think I've heard you say this before. You're like less precious about the material.
Yeah,
you're just kind of like throwing.
I'm trying to get that. That's like my 10-year goal is like until pretty recently, I was doing a lot of the same stuff so much, and I'm like, okay, now I'm really like, just the mics are. Occasionally, I'll bring something back that didn't work and try it, but really trying to and use the selfie reels as a way. Like I've been kind of inspired by like Ryan Gordon and Derek and people too, and younger people to like go, I mean, that's a kind of counts as a rep. Totally. You're still putting it out there and you're seeing, nobody even knows what I'm talking about, or there's a lot of comments. Like, I think this is something I can take to the stage.
Yeah. Well, and I like with Derek that he does like sketches, you know, I guess Kayla does too, but it's cool to see like that type of comedy from someone who I'm used to seeing stand up. It's like you can be funny in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, Derek he came on here like with Josie like just a month or two ago, and he's like, doing TikTok, and they blow up. I'm like, what? I thought you were just another comic who hasn't figured out social media, and then I found his TikTok. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, this guy's a fucking genius. Like I'd never seen.
He just kind of knows how to do it.
Yeah, and it's so he's doing like acting. He's doing like characters and stuff, and not bragging, but I was the one who's like, you need to put these on Instagram. You need to put these on Instagram because
you pushed him.
Yeah, and I even was like, he was like, I don't want the people that know me to. And I was like, well, that's gonna. You have to do that if you want to like make it and stand up. And then he's like. Everyone's like trying to figure out the algorithm. Derek puts his like first video on. There's like 1 million or whatever. It's like he just is that good at it.
Oh, totally.
There's randomness and there's
like
whatever. But he's just like he's seeing that. I'm like, I don't know if there's anyone like funnier in town than Derek.
Oh, he's great.
And I saw him open for Jim Norton last night at the Orange Peel.
I heard about that.
So I'm like, it's all Derek's like. It's happening, man. Like he's
because Jim Norton, that's a rising star.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I do love Derek. One thing I do love about him is that he is like really good at that, but he's so like bashful, all shucks about it. Yeah, he's like, I hate TikTok, but I'm really good at it. Yeah. He's it's so funny.
I want to talk to him more about what that conflict is, because there is some kind of like he was like, Like, because you don't really do a lot of social media. Do you have a conflict with that, or like, do you send out the emails?
Yeah.
Do you send out your emails?
I wanted to talk to you about this too.
Let's get into this.
You just kind of have to.
Oh.
I really think you have to, especially when there's so much like other good comics competition. It's like you just have to keep putting yourself in their brain, you know?
Constantly.
Yeah.
And not expect to hear back.
Totally.
You don't do it for a month to go, well, nobody responded.
Right.
You just got to always do that.
Totally. And it's just kind of like, I'm grateful to Melissa because I do just have a good tape that I can send people and be like, hey, I have this 15 minutes. But if you want to look at that, here's my bio, book me, or whatever.
The
4x3.
You got the Rhizome one too, right?
And I have Rhizome. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, I got to clip through that, but yeah. And I just have like video I can send. And once you get that, it's like, just toss it out and see what you can do. I really think there's this like shame about asking for stuff.
Yeah.
And I used to feel that too. I just feel like you can't feel that if you want to do stuff in comedy.
You can't. I mean, it's like, if you are just like, I go to the mic every week and that's all I want, then But if you want to like grow as a comic and get booked and like you have to.
You have to be like.
Ideally, you have someone doing that for you eventually.
Sure.
But I mean, whether you're in a band or whatever, you have to kind of do that.
Yeah.
And AI is really good at that.
I bet.
AI is really good at writing an email for you. So you dump in your sloppy, unpunctuated version. And then you get a good draft back that feels a little not like you, and you bump that up.
Yeah.
So I mean, I think that's one really valid use of it. It's like every Monday I send out these emails to these clubs.
Yeah.
You drop the clip in.
Sure.
It's there as a link, so it actually is like there, and then you send available dates. Always available to, even if you could go anytime.
Yeah.
And you could even do research for, like, if you were trying to book with Melissa from out of town, you would look at her site and be like, okay, she does Thursday through Friday.
Right.
So then even though you're not doing shit and you could come anytime forever, never say that.
Yeah.
Always say October 9th through 11th this weekend. And then, because they're just trying to match you up.
Totally.
A little bio.
That's a good thing to say, too, because that was a big lesson, too. Where
once you send the first one, you're just copying and pasting and changing the name. You just got to send the first ones.
Right. And do
it today.
I was even like this, too. I was like, that's a lot of work. But then when you do it, you're like, this actually doesn't take any time at all. Yeah. And it really does get, more results. And also, Kelsey Rosen, I think, was the first person who told me.
Yeah.
She was like, always say your available dates or like when you want to perform, because that's just like gonna help you because they're looking to fit you in. And I always do that.
Yeah. And I think just saying like, anytime I'm available, it just makes you sound like a loser. And because they're getting like, they're going through their inbox, the booker, they got all these, it's just a bunch of people.
No offense, but you're a loser.
A bunch of people, I just don't do anything, please give me and then there's one that's like, hey, here's the link, here's correct grammar, here's one sentence that says I actually know who you are and heard a good thing if you have a reference or whatever, and here's my available dates. Oh, this is a person that like has a life going on, like has things, like you're creating that illusion, like we're all just desperate, at this level, but it's like you gotta like put yourself in the booker's mind. I love this topic because the shame is like,
I know, right,
so real. And I feel like with Cody, we've talked about this a million times. It's like, you gotta get, I don't want to see you not reach your potential or because you're shaming yourself about, no one else cares.
Totally.
No one's like, what, Cody sent out some emails? I lost all respect.
I thought that guy was a genius.
Yeah. If anything, it's like other people that look up to you will be like, how are you getting on shows? And you can help them. Like we need to destigmatize.
Yeah, because just the concept that you're just going to be asked to do stuff all the time.
Yeah.
It just needs to be.
That's what you should be ashamed of. Oh, you're so fucking important.
Yeah.
I need to be approached.
I let the bookers come to me.
It's like, that's the shameful thing. That's actually more narcissist.
Totally.
If you really think about it.
Being like, oh, you didn't see me for 5 minutes and book me? What's that about?
I know. Yeah. Like, why are we ashamed about that?
But like, it's not like, I think people like think it's sad to only ask for things. It's like, it's not like that'll still happen. Like, I feel like you ask to do things, you get to do them. Sometimes people do just ask you to do things. It's like a mix. It's not like it's totally going to go away.
Yeah.
Your ego's going to just like deflate or whatever.
Well, I don't ask to be on things in town.
Yeah.
So, so those are,
it's a great balance.
And
you have a really good balance going.
Yeah. But then sometimes when I get out into like, the 2-hour range now,
Yeah.
I don't ask because they actually want me.
Yeah.
But then the further you get, the more you have to ask.
Totally.
But yeah, I don't ask to be in town because also like
you just know them too.
I know them and I get asked, which is nice. And it's like there are new comics that those are the only shows that they like. I do think I'm not going to Denver, so I'm staying here. So I have the responsibility to try to do what you're doing by growing my radius.
Totally.
So it's like I shouldn't be trying to take spots from like, a 3-year comic who only has in-town stuff within their reach. So it's different strategies, but I kind of get off on it. I think it's cool to like, like I know my numbers and dates. So I kind of have that. That's an asset that I like, a strategic like time management planner kind of guy. But
but it's kind of cool to be like pick when you ask for things too. Like I remember when I still lived here, there was like, this was like right before COVID hit, but Cody was having like a birthday show, like anniversary doing comedy thing, and Ben Atkins and Jack Pearson. Do you remember Jack?
Yeah, I was on the show. Yeah.
Wait, you were on that show too?
Yeah.
Well,
I was approached by Gio.
I know you. They wanted you for sure, but I was like, I want
to. George the
did.
The button down management.
That one man. But I was like, hey, I want to do this show. I like all these comics. I forgot you were on that show.
Yeah.
I was like, I really want to do that, and he was like, yeah, sure. So I think it's cool to pick if it's a show you're really excited about.
Yeah, sometimes for sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it is. But I mean, do you send out the emails? Are you still working through the shame of it?
No, I do. Yeah,
okay.
To bookers. Yeah,
mm-hmm. That's good.
Yeah, I think you have to.
Oh yeah. I mean, you don't think you
definitely do.
Have to. Like, if you take one thing,
I would say that's the biggest wake up call. Honestly, it's like you have to ask for things.
Yeah, I mean, and it just makes me sad as like kind of an older artist in the community that like the best, a lot of times the very best are like either too ashamed to ask or they feel weird about it. They feel like that's like a sacrifice of their integrity. Yeah. Or they're just so difficult to work with.
Totally.
And the second one, I don't really know you can do much about that, unfortunately.
Yeah. It's just, I think about the comics I really love, and I used to be like, they never had to ask for things, or like, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like Bill Hicks just was himself or whatever.
Yeah.
People wanted him. But it's like, they did have people working with them for them, and they were asking for shows.
And who knows?
You just don't see that part.
Yeah, you don't. And you don't have to show people that part. I mean, we show it on here. If you're listening to this, then like you're into whatever this is. And exactly. And I'm like really into talking about that because I think the older you get to, the less like when I was in my 20s in bands, like I was definitely like a lot more like secretive about that stuff because I believed authenticity was like being like a 90s, like Kurt Cobain never sent out the emails. Exactly. But now I'm like, well, he's dead and I do. And who gives a shit, man?
I still
if it
have
can help
that
somebody,
in me too.
Yeah. I have that in me with the, now that I'm trying to expand into like the selfie reels.
Sure.
I have that with that because I'm like, when I post, I'm like, you piece of shit. Like everyone should see my big old head talking about seltzers or whatever. Like I do, I wince, but I'm hoping that I'll push through that and then I'll get to the next thing.
I just think what I fear, and maybe this is what Derek feels also, where it's like you see these comics who are so online and they're so good at being online. It's like, and they get booked, It just feels sometimes like you're selling yourself like constantly. Yeah. And I do kind of fear that where it's like, I think what part of the creative juice, one of the things I like about stand-up is that it requires a lot of like time with your journal,
introspection,
contemplation, and I do fear like that I'm going to get to a point where I'm just constantly like timing out putting things online and like here's when I send my emails, here's when I post, and that does like kind of like squeeze some of the art out of it for me. But I do think there's there's like an in-between where you can do both and still feel like fulfilled.
No, I hear what you're saying. There's definitely a point where you do become an inauthentic, like when I go to like a festival or something, like I don't network. I do not. Hey, Ryan Cox, here's my. It's like for me, I'm like I see people that can walk into a room and they can sense where the power is and they can do that, and like if that's authentically them, good. But like I'd never do that. I never try to like this is a famous person I'm open for, so maybe I'll get to. It's like no, it's just let them. They traveled today. Leave them alone.
Totally, they were on a plane.
I do have my things like that, but I think too, once you start posting too, if you just keep an eye on it, it's just like the yelling after Hillary moment where you go, "Ooh, that week I got a little too structured about it last week. I need to back it off." But you can still find your line and your tolerance will change. Like one thing that is awesome about Melissa is she does those workshops where she says, "Here's how you get booked."
Oh yeah,
and she's really, really good at giving that information out. And she's not going to maybe do it in like a way that's like I'm being, super nice or whatever. But she's like blunt and she has that information. And
well, I mean, one thing about Melissa is just without a doubt, she doesn't beat around the bush.
Yeah, right.
She will tell you what you have to do.
Business and this and that. And she told a story at the one that I went to about her, and like she was definitely being like, I hang out with Shane Torres, kind of doing a little name dropping, but she was like, we're on our laptops. He's sending out the emails.
Right.
Like, so she told me that she saw him sitting there and doing his daily, I'm sending out all my dang emails. And, I assume that's true. And I was like, well, he's a legit underground legend.
Totally.
So I just think of him. And I'm like, well, if Shane does it, I don't feel like when I see him, he's become inauthentic. Oh, totally. But I mean, if he hadn't done that, we might not know who he is. Like you do. It's just not sexy to talk about it. Yeah. Except on this podcast.
Except my podcast. That's why you should subscribe.
Yeah. Our 50 subscribers know that you should do it. I mean, it's kind of like saving for retirement or something. Nobody wants to talk about that.
I know.
Once and then you start saving for retirement and you're like, I actually do care about the stock market. This actually does make me slightly more evil or whatever. So maybe there is some of that. I don't know. You have kids and then you're like, well, now I gotta, like, you do kind of have to make like you can't stay
Yeah. The other thing that I think needed to be squashed for me was I really did think like the funniest comedians are the ones getting the most opportunities, which is definitely true sometimes, but it's not. It's more. You have to do more than just being funny.
It's a Venn diagram.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I just don't think I ever thought like that. I was like, you get really funny, then you get to do stuff. It's like you can unfortunately be like really, really funny and just like not get to do stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can, and if you're not funny at all, I don't think you can really get that far with just the emails. But I think
you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
I mean, it is kind of underrepresented, I mean, you got a scene of insane artists that live on their parents' basement. I mean, how many of them are doing the emails? But I think you need both to really like go all the way.
Oh, totally.
Or like, Hillary was on here and she's got like Caitlin, her cousin, living with her now. So she's like very, being her manager for now. Yeah. And I hope she listens to everything she says because she's like amazingly on point. So you need somebody doing it.
Totally.
And, like Hillary came on here once and early on and she was like, I just am 100% the act. I don't send the emails. I need somebody doing that. And then Cody kept bringing that up. He's like, the nerve of her saying that. Like I was like it was something in him, where he's like, he's like, we got to send this whole emails thing really gets people worked up.
But Cody does, I feel like Cody seems like he doesn't.
I think he's doing it now.
He does.
Yeah. I think he's like really.
I think people like to think that he's just like this psycho bard or whatever.
Well, I think he was for like 15 years. Yeah. I sense that in the after like the 15-year mark, he got extremely funny. Yeah. Maybe he was always funny. Yeah. And then now he has accepted like to some degree that you need to treat it like a business and quotes that shameful expression. Yeah. What's your brand? These words that make you feel like, I'm not an introspective artist. Yeah. I'm a smoozy door salesman.
I think Cody's kind of cool though now where he's at now because like I feel like he just doesn't feel comfortable doing a lot of the online stuff, but he's at a cool place where the clubs will sometimes just like do it for him. I'll see a clip with Cody. I'll be like, oh, he's finally posting clips. And it's like, oh, the club did this for him. That's cool.
Oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that's one of the cool things about this podcast is I'm like, I'll put up some clips of them.
Exactly.
Somebody should be seeing them.
Like when I did Rhizome, they were like, hey, we made a great clip for you. I was like, oh, that's perfect because I feel like I'm bad at doing that. So,
yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's like another thing is that like I did listen. I wanted to talk to you because I listened to the Jeremy Alder episode, which I enjoyed a lot. But he made an interesting point about how comedy audiences. he was saying red rooms, Republican rooms, he like feels are better. I don't mean to get political again.
No, let's do it.
Because he feels like there's like a lack of pretense and like they're more willing to laugh. Yeah. I think that's so. I mean, I do think partly he is a little true.
Yeah.
But there is like an interesting double standard, I feel like, where like comics, when an audience is really liberal and like choosing not to laugh at things, their reaction to that is like, wow, the audience really has like a stick up their ass tonight, you know? Or they're like, man, fuck these cucks or whatever.
Right.
But like if a red room like isn't laughing, I've gotten the feedback where they're like, well, you just need to be funnier, you know?
Yeah, I
like,
hear
you should probably be funny in every room.
Like there's already an implicit bias. Like everyone's already saying, everybody's already saying that like liberals are too uptight.
Exactly.
And killing comedy. And that's probably, that's
they're killing comedy.
That's in the collective.
Right.
Like that's why Kill Tony is. So it goes back to that because there is this sense of like, you know, Democrats won't let you say nothing.
They don't like to laugh.
Yeah.
Is that interesting?
That is interesting. I mean, I hadn't really thought of it.
I know it wasn't related to like anything we were talking about.
No,
but I was like, I wanted to talk to Ryan about this.
Yeah, I mean, but I did like a red room last week in Hendersonville, and I felt that it was the second time I'd played there, and when I did some of the bits about a little bit of religion and a little bit about guns, I felt like they did kind of like I didn't present like if I should have been like I'm a dad and these kids sure are, and we have that, and then I get around to guns, like I did it in the wrong order, you know, but like I still like they saw these glasses and they were like, is she gonna try to take our guns away? Like I was still on the wrong side of it.
Well, that's kind of like linked to the Nate thing too, where it's like when you're presenting in a way that doesn't feel like it's you, any audience can just kind of pick up on it.
And that's what I love about it. Is like they're actually helping you find your authentic voice for whatever you do. Maybe I never get famous, or it's possible, you know.
Totally.
But like they are, if I'm aware enough, then they are helping me. Because if I'm not being myself, they collectively know, no matter what political side they're on. And that's cool. A group of people can suss that out.
Totally.
But yeah.
Well, I was just thinking about it because it's like...
Yeah, I think you're right. There's some bias you have ahead of time. Where you're like, oh, fucking liberals again.
But it's like, I was thinking about like the liberal people I know. It's like liberal guys like me and you. No comic is like scared of us, you know, in an audience.
We don't have guns.
But like, why?
We're feminine.
But why are they so like? Oh yeah, they hate to laugh. Liberals hate to laugh, or like, I don't know.
I mean, I think it's true. I think a liberal audience is more likely to be like,
is it okay to laugh?
Is it okay to laugh?
Sure.
Which actually is probably a good thing a lot of the time. But at a comedy show, I think it can be a bad thing. But then if the whole show is Kill Tony, people doing sexual assault jokes, maybe it's good.
To ask that question.
It's complicated. You know, it's a complicated thing. But I think that, you know, this goes back to the conversation where like I did get the sense that Kamala or her team were scared to let her go on a 2-hour Raw podcast and just talk. And that really hurt her. Because
but you know what,
the other dudes were doing it.
I was kind of thinking about
that being too careful. It's like the culture wants Raw.
Do you think they kind of did a course correction though? Because I remember Hillary was on like she was on like Charlemagne's show, like the Breakfast Club, and she was like trying to like appeal to them. Do you remember this? And she was like, I love hot sauce, and everyone was like, what's going on? So I feel like they were like with Kamala, we don't want another hot sauce situation. Or,
But maybe from now on, or at least for now, your candidate has to be able to talk
Joe
about hot
did
sauce.
that too.
Yeah.
Remember, Joe was like, if you're not voting for Joe, you're not black. Like, he said that. What a crazy thing. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was before he won, though, right?
Right, that was like before he won.
Like, you know, enough black people are like, well, that's true, I guess.
You know what? Maybe he's right. So maybe with Kamala, they were like, let's not do podcasts.
I'm going to open the door for a second.
But you're right. I guess I need to go soon, too. Probably.
I don't know. We might have time. I just want to make sure that I forgot to turn my fan on when it starts heating up.
Oh, okay.
Let's see.
Well, I guess I forgot.
No, we got more time.
Me and Allison were going to go on a hike.
Oh, okay. So you actually need to go.
Well, maybe in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, let's give it 15 because 75 minutes is a good.
Yeah.
Like if we did less than an hour.
Yeah.
That would be like.
No, that'd be. The people would want more.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, all the politics stuff is really
it's interesting,
and I do have the sense that I'm worried that I come off like I do kind of always feel like I need to be like I don't vote for Republicans just because I'm like this age, and I do think I do have a little more of a perspective, like I had a bit I remember where I said the R word and I was trying to do like before COVID. And I remember
that was in my notes to bring up with you. It said Ryan Cox R word.
And I was really trying and I remember I asked you about it. I was like, you're younger than me. And, what do you think? And you were like, it makes me a little sad when you do it, but I think it's fine. You should keep doing it.
Yeah.
But then I still stopped doing it.
I mean, whenever anyone asks me something like that, I am always like honest where I'm like, I personally probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell you what to and not to say.
And that's the answer I wanted. And then sometimes I might still go to Tennessee and do it. If it's like, if it's a bad Tennessee show.
You whip out the R word. Yeah.
And then I'm like, ooh, they're getting sad here about it.
Yeah.
It's 2025. We're all kind of agreeing with this.
But me and Allison were talking about that. It is kind of discouraging that like the words are just kind of coming back. Like when you're at a mic, you will hear. I mean, maybe it's like a big city thing, but like people are saying the R word.
Yeah.
People are saying the F word.
Yeah.
The F slur.
Yeah. Jim Norton said that one a bunch last night, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah. And like I just remember being in a culture where I feel like it was just kind of agreed with. It's like we don't really do that. Yeah. I feel like it is coming back.
And for me, it's like I'm at the age where we said all that stuff like all the time. Yeah. And it didn't feel like it did in like 2000s and 2010. Right. So now it's like, for me, it's like, can I, like that F word was my slur. Like if there's anything for like a suburban white kid, like I was just mercilessly called that, by friends roastingly and by like bullies that really scared me. Sure. So it's like, there's a part of me that kind of wants to own that slur, but I'm not going to.
Right.
I'm not going to.
Right.
And I don't say the R word anymore really either. Yeah. But it's like, it's like the liberal, it's like, it's not a black or white thing. It's like, but I agree that like with the Kill Tony, then that does kind of make me want to just be like lean more to the Mark Maron side because I'm like,
sure. I
feel like the zeitgeist of the internet is so far in a bad place with that it makes me. I'm going to save my R word thing till this like whatever. This does not seem like the time,
right,
to be on that team or to scan that way.
Yeah, because there's these like. Just an idea that when you're on stage, I remember a comic who I don't think he does comedy anymore in Asheville, but he was new. Like I won't say his name. You definitely know who he is, but he came up to me and Allison after a show one time, and he was like, he did stuff we just didn't like. It was just pretty, misogynist and just not really funny, And he just saw us not really laughing or like supporting him at all. And he came up to us in the parking lot and he was like, hey guys, a little support would be nice. He like said that. And we were just kind of like, well, we didn't like what you had to offer.
I'm setting up the chairs and letting you get up there and talk. Like that's support.
Right.
That's like unawareness of that. It's like, well, why don't you run a show? And, that's support.
I feel like I, at the time, was doing a good amount for the community. And just the expectation that if you're a guy who's chosen to do comedy, you deserve some sort of like, support or like help or.
Is this an older gentleman?
No.
I want to know who it is, but I don't know.
I guess I can say.
It doesn't
really matter.
Give like the first.
It was Ben Doster.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Do you remember him?
Yeah, of course.
He quit, right?
Yeah, I think so. He quit a few times, but I haven't seen him in like a year, and he Yeah, he was like, he just had the toxic masculinity vibes that a lot of people, and I was actually kind of rooting for him a little because I was like, I've done this with like Shoulder as well, where I'm like, well, maybe we could allow this person to move a little bit more in our direction. And then as soon as I say that, they get up and give the most worst set of all time, and everybody's like, that's your boy, Ryan? I'm like, all right, I'm not defending anyone.
This your guy?
I'm not defending any dudes. They like, because I do always kind of wonder if like I am scanning that way, or like, because I do want to explore, I've been doing it long enough to where I do kind of want to explore sexism or, slurs or things like that a little bit. But then it's like, it needs to work at the odd. It doesn't. If it just works in Tennessee and it doesn't work at the Odd, then that's not authentic to me.
Totally.
But I think I should be allowed to cross that line at the Odd and be like, I am aware that y'all called me out on that by not laughing. Like I don't want. So it's like I hope I have enough trust to where like somebody like the person we were talking about. Coming right out of the gate with that. That's another thing. It's like, why don't you make us laugh with other shit first and then try to toe the line. There's a lot of nuance in all this stuff.
I agree. Well, the show it wasn't a show, it was just a mic at the Odd. It was great to be back at the Odd because like I feel like you can just try stuff there. And it's a great sounding board because they're not really gonna probably not be on board with everything, but you feel when they are. It's like, oh, that hit. Yeah. That didn't. Yeah. And you're like, maybe if I tweaked that, then they would like it. It's like a great place for that. And like, you don't really, now I understand, you just don't get that everywhere. And I think I was taking it for granted. Where it's like with these other guys, when an audience doesn't like anything you said, and instead of getting defensive, taking that as like information. Yeah.
Oh, totally.
And be like, oh, maybe that means I need to move this around or say this differently or just write differently.
And that's taken me, I think I've gotten that way more each year because it's like, even as like a young dude in my career, like when I started coding, it's like, you didn't know that? I'd be like, yes, I did. But now that I'm confident, I've been doing it for 15 years now. When somebody like inevitably in front of the group will be like, wait, did you know that? And I can be like, no, actually, I know that humility is strength, and me showing that I don't know a thing in front of the group actually shows I am a pro. And I think with any endeavor, it's like when I was a rookie, I'd be a lot more defensive. Like
me too.
They're gonna find out I don't know what I'm doing. So that's a nice thing about like people always say you got a bomb. And then now it's like I'm actually feeling that. And even like Jim Norton last night, I've never listened to one of his specials or anything like that. He's never been my favorite, but I'm like, I'll take a free ticket to see a legend that's 10 minutes down the road and Derek's opening. I want to see him do well.
I saw that was happening. I was like, I kind of want to go.
Yeah. And it was like my favorite thing to see is someone that's a really big deal fumbling through an hour that's not the hour on Netflix. Totally. I don't want to see his hour.
Like the Shane show, when I was on with Shane, I feel like he did that.
He was like, on the Shane Torres?
Yeah, I hosted that.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, I'm just working through some thoughts.
That show meant so much to me. You did host that. That's right. Because you were like, Kenny looks like scary now. That was funny.
He did,
I remember that. He did. I was like, God, he's like tough now or something.
Tattoos.
He's going to beat up all those people that abused him. Look out. But he... that was the biggest one ever. Right. Because even Jim, like, he was kind of like saying things and there wouldn't be a laugh, and he would just sit in it. Yeah. And I was like, that is why I'm here. Totally. And Shane literally picked up the notebook and be like, men the hug or whatever, and they'd be like, okay, never mind, and just put it down. And that was like, yes, totally. Like just seeing him own that the whole space we're talking about, like humility. Yeah. Like I'm sure afterwards he was like, that was, about as bad as it gets, maybe, or he seemed like that. But for me, I'm like, what an interesting thing. Totally. I learned way more from that than watching his special where he's, doing the polished thing.
Yeah, totally.
I love it.
Well, and like, I do think seeing a guy like him, I do like seeing comics from that era now, because I do think they like realize that the climate is different. And they're like, I have to adjust my persona in some way. And it is really interesting to see. Like, those guys, they're not necessarily my type of comedy, but I do remember I used to watch Tough Crowd with Colin Quinn. Did you ever watch that show?
I've seen clips like more recently.
It's so fun.
Where they're sitting on like benches and surrounded.
I mean, it was a dumb show, but it was like so fun just to watch because Colin Quinn, who like shouldn't really be hosting anything, he doesn't have like the makeup of like a good host. So he's like bumbling through it. And it's just his buddies. So it's like Patrice, Jim Norton usually. And then like Nick DiPaolo, who's just like a like red Republican, like through and through Republican.
Oh yeah.
And then, but then they'll have like people who are really famous now, like Mark Maron's on sometimes, like when he was still like drinking and stuff.
Oh,
so like crazy Mark Maron. And then like
it's all cooked up.
Right. And like Kevin Hart will be on there like before he was like famous at all, And they're just like talking about like, like 9/11 era politics, and it's just kind of crazy to watch.
That was like those are the first podcasts like that.
Right.
And Opie and Anthony, but that was actually filmed and I had that makes me want to go watch some more because I do remember seeing Patrice next to Kevin.
Yes.
And Kevin like Patrice like shut up, like you're in shit. And it's like you have no idea that like 10 more years he's gonna be like the biggest.
I just remember Patrice and another comic just keep laughing at Kevin Hart because he's just doing his like polished set when they're just hanging out.
Yeah.
And they think it's the funniest thing ever that he can't just talk.
Yeah, he hasn't broken through yet.
He has to do like bits.
Well, I mean, that's what we're doing now.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important. And this is making me think of the Kamala Hillary thing. Honestly,
right?
I mean, I have daughters. I would love it to be a lady next time.
Yeah.
But like, regardless of your gender, you need to go on and be able to just wing it.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I think that's just the reality, you know? It's like if you're like Kevin Hart trying to do the thing, like that's what it is. You got to be able to go on and be raw and be real. And
that's really interesting.
I mean, I don't know. That seems to be a theme that keeps coming up, even all the different topics. It's kind of interesting.
There's another really cool moment with Greg Giraldo, right? The comic.
Yeah.
When he's on at the same time as Dennis Leary. Have you seen that clip?
No.
It's so funny because it's like Greg has like really funny jokes prepared.
Yeah.
And Dennis Leary is saying he's saying something about like how the America has nukes and we need to just like use the nukes so everyone knows to be scared of us. and then Greg Giraldo's like he says something funny like, yeah, that really worked with that like big long war with Russia we had where, we didn't use any nuclear power at all.
Yeah.
And he has like a joke prepared and Dennis Leary's just kind of like, what the fuck? It's just such a funny like live TV
like
moment.
He can tell that he's doing a prepared bet and he's just like calls him out.
Right. But he didn't Dennis Leary thought everyone was just going to be on his side because he's like the more famous guy, I feel like. But like on Tough Crowd, like Greg Giraldo's kind of the more famous guy a little bit.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see.
Have you heard about the, do you know Dennis Leary's asshole song and the story about that?
I don't know the story. Did he steal it?
He stole it.
Yeah, right. He
from
stole
Louis
it.
C.K.
That's right. Yeah.
Like, because I remember that song in the 90s. It was like.
It's the one that's like, because I'm an asshole.
Yeah. Just a very weird, like in the height of like 90s, I think it was like early 90s grunge days.
So
it was
weird.
like on top MTV. And it kind of made him like this. That was like when Janine and David Crow was like, ooh, this is an edgy comic. That's like kind of, and Louis said that like, that was his closer. Is like he was like not that good at comedy yet, but at the end of his signature closer bit was he just be like, "Oh, I'm an asshole." And one time he just kept doing that, and then Dennis went up after him, and he was like, he just like jumped on it. He was like, "I'm an asshole too." Blah blah blah.
Oh,
and
like
then, and it was funny, but then he came back like next month, and Dennis was still doing it as his closer.
He has like merch that says "I'm an asshole,"
and then he just made this massive hit out of it. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, I know Louis like everybody hates him now, but it's just kind of funny that was like
It sucks with him because I do like hate like bringing him up just because of everything that happened. But like
saying his name,
he is like not only was such a giant in comedy, but it's also like his perspective is so interesting
when we started.
When he was at like the peak.
When we started, he was like the and now it's like he's just so many people ago. It's kind of interesting.
I know it really is.
But that was like he was putting out one every year.
Yeah,
and it was just like he was kind of the Shane Gillis of our starting days. Where like I see everyone moves like Shane and like you know what I mean. Like I think
totally.
There's that, or I think Dimitri was.
Dimitri Martin?
Yeah, I think like when Tom Peters started, like
him.
Dimitri was kind of, it was like, just deadpan.
I love him.
Oh yeah, he's great.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do like remember like liking watching Louis because I loved that comics I liked would be on as themselves or like a version of themselves.
The show?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And the
Seinfeld.
episode with Dennis Leary is awesome when he confronts him about stealing material.
That's Dane
Cook.
Yeah, that's Dane Cook. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a great episode.
That's a beautiful moment because they actually go at it with some real tension. Like such a shame because like.
And there's another one with Stanhope. Where like Stanhope's like doing a version of himself, and it's so dark but like beautiful. And
so beautiful.
Yeah, that show is kind of nuts.
It's the greatest show ever. I mean, it's really unfortunate. I mean, Cosby was me and my family piled on the couch and watched it.
It's crazy because you learn a lot about stand-up through it, but you also learn a lot from like Seinfeld too. I remember learning a lot about stand-up like through Seinfeld. There's a clip where Jerry's just listening to himself on a tape recorder, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And he's like, "You have to do this in stand-up," and it's like a laugh line.
Yeah.
But then like I learned like, oh, you do have to do that. You know, you just have to.
You introduced me to a good one.
Oh, good one.
Have you read his book?
Oh no.
Okay.
The one about comedy, right?
Yeah. And he starts out being like, Seinfeld is the turning point.
Yeah.
Like we're in the age of meta now where people want to listen to podcasts and like how does it work? And Seinfeld was the first podcast was like Jerry and George in the booth. And there's a part where like there's like a scene he refers to where like Seinfeld knocks over like a display, and he and Elaine are like picking it up in the store, and he starts doing something, and she's like, "Is this a bit?"
Yeah, right.
Like no one was that level of meta did not exist.
Yeah.
Like so, it took like 10 years for the culture to catch up to that. But there's so many things that Seinfeld planted the seeds of that are the culture now. But nobody that's young knows them. Yeah. It's like Mark Maron, where they see the bad imitators, and then they see Seinfeld and go, "What a hack," you know? And it's like he was like.
When I went to go see him with my dad, I was like pretty young, but I do just remember that being a moment when I was like, I want to do this in my life 100%.
Clean.
And it was so funny.
Jokes, He hasn't done himself favors by like a lot of the things he said.
No, he's another one of those guys that's like, wow, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff
course
you say.
Correct. Yeah, but I mean, he's not ever been accused of like on the list of like my fallen heroes. I mean, like. No. It's all of them. It's like Cosby, Woody Allen, Ryan Adams, like literally every person, Louis C.K., every person that like was my favorite artist, like every single one.
It's funny because a lot of them die, so they're just like not around anymore. So you think more fondly about those people, but I think sometimes it's just because they died. Yeah, honestly.
Yeah, like Michael Jackson. It was time. It was time to die. You know.
But like Kurt Cobain, I think about a lot, where it's like he was so young, which is really sad. But it's also like they released 3 perfect albums. They're like amazing albums.
Yeah, there's just like 100 songs. Like exactly. he never had his Aussie reality show.
Exactly. But he probably would have or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And even Norm, I know Norm like was like saying some crazy stuff towards the end, but it's like I'm glad I don't have to hear him talk about, Trump or whatever. Yeah.
Did you watch his like post, release special?
Mm-hmm. He's just very special to me.
Oh, he's the best.
Yeah. And we watched Dirty. Have you ever seen the movie Dirty Work?
I need to watch it because I just read his book. So he was talking about it.
His book rules.
So now it's like it's kind of like Nirvana, where I'm like, well, there's really only so many things, so I just need to consume them all.
He just had such a unique perspective, and the movie is like so like for comedy people because it's like Norm and Artie are the leads, which having Artie Lang as like the lead in your is kind of crazy.
Yeah,
but it's those two guys, which is hilarious.
That's how he rolls.
But then
he's
Don
crazy.
Rickles is also in it, and he's very funny in it. And Chevy Chase is also in it as like old Chevy, and he's very funny too.
Yeah.
It's just like a dream, like a comedy dream kind of. Yeah. I mean, there's stuff that doesn't hold up for sure.
Oh yeah,
but it's still like very just fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, I love. Yeah, Norm's maybe the best of all time. Did you read his book?
Oh yeah,
yeah. Louis wrote a really nice intro to the book about it, and I think that he talks about abuse. I think he's being honest about like being abused and stuff too. It's interesting where that line is, and then he exaggerates a bunch of other stuff to make it seem like maybe he wasn't.
Totally.
But I think he's really like putting his heart on the line in there, and you can really get inside of his his head.
And I feel like also there's like some truth in that book about how he had a hard time in relationships too.
Yeah.
And like his view of like women is like pretty skewed.
Yeah.
And I think there's a lot of like honesty in that book amidst like all the bullshit and weirdness.
I think he might be a deeply closeted gay man too. I think he might be from that generation.
All those jokes he makes about it, but it's coming from a true place.
I think so. That's what I love is the mystery where you never do really quite know. It's like maybe he doesn't even really quite know. Like he's truly conflicted and he's able to make it. I mean, it's a shame that I think he said he had like 10 hours. So it's like we didn't quite get. He had a Netflix deal. For more, and then he died, and it's like I don't know if we'll get bootlegs or something, but we should have the 10 hours because it's just I don't know.
Well, I mean the fact that I get excited to do this podcast honestly is born from watching him on Conan and late night shows.
Yeah, right.
Because he's just so entertaining and fun to watch, and I'm like, that looks like fun.
Yeah, that was actually my first. It was a Seinfeld.
Yeah,
and it was Conan. Like in the '90s, where you stay up till like 12:30, I think, and then you'd watch Conan do his thing, which is like The Simpsons, and that was hugely influential, like probably more than stand up. And then Norm would just come on at the end and just tell some long story.
Man, he was funny on those.
And the coins are black. And Rick to be like, the coins are black.
He is just so he's like the best at just
and SNL too. He was like he was on there at that time too.
Yeah, I mean I watch his Weekend Update clips too.
Yeah. Just like, because I love the Norm Macdonald show. Like, they've re-released, there's the original YouTube one that went away, but now it's like there's a site where you can watch him.
Totally.
And people are like, this is the cheapest thing, but he's got like Billy Bob Thornton and like just an incredible bunch of people, because people love Norm.
Oh, totally.
And then at the end where they read the jokes, when I started this podcast, I tried to do that because I know Norm wrote those jokes.
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Like Norm is he can do like the little short
jokey jokes. Yeah, for sure.
And like just the tension, and then he'd give Adam, get like the worst one.
I know.
Like, what the fuck are you doing, you idiot?
It's so fun. There's a great moment too where he has like Adam Sandler on, and he's like, "Do impressions. You were always so good at impressions." And Adam Sandler does like an impression, and he's like, "So good, right?" And then he's like, "Adam, you do one now." And Adam does an impression of Snagglepuss, the cartoon, and he's like, "Wow, wasn't that the worst thing you've ever heard?" And it's just so funny.
Yeah.
And Adam Sandler's like very uncomfortable, but he laughs too, and it's just so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love Norm. I guess I have to go.
Yeah, that's a good place to end on our mutual love of Norm. Cool. Well, thanks for coming on. Enjoy your hike.